Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, May 22nd. Looking at window traders market profile of ES and NQ. So, in the bigger picture, not much happened today, right? ES continues to be down. They barely took out yesterday's low, but got the IB high and the overnight high, and were pushing higher until M period just wiped out the entire last 2 hours of longs and did what Mo does. That's why they call him the Three Stooges. Am I going to put a lot of emphasis on what Mo did? Not really. Not really. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to gap lower or anything. Mo does what he wants to do. In fact, and again, benefit of this trading room, when we were up here, now NQ got the IB high, they finally got an L period. And I got that long. But I was talking to the room afterwards when we was just sitting up here and they were buying it. I said, why? What's the target here? If they've had no energy, I don't think, now again, I'm in bigger increments. I'm not looking for them to try to get into the single prints and get the upper distribution. NQ had nothing above until value high and then the day's high. So I'm like, they got their target in NQ. ES was not going to get that other one. I'm like, what's the meaning? What's the reason for wanting to keep buying this up here? I didn't say it when M did this. I said it an hour ago. And they finally gave it up. I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't short it on the way down. I just watched. NQ does have an inside day. So remember, NQ is still balanced. Because yesterday they took out the balance high and went up, and then they took out the previous day's low, so I kept them in balance. Well, it's still balanced. ES is down. However, you could basically treat ES as an inside day because they barely took out yesterday's low. Righty gap lower again, filled the gap, but that's all they did. They end with an afternoon pullback. NQ ends with a 10 wide POC. They were 9 for 9. ES ends up with nothing, just a day's high and low, because the pullback got taken out in M, just the way NQ's did. I long the market. All my trades are from the long side today. I was long in A period and NQ to get the overnight high. And then I was long in B period to get A's high, and then some ebb and flow trades. So I had a good A and B. And I actually shut down my personal account after that because I said to the room, the way B spiked up and then came in, I said if they had held that and we were trading their B's highs on the turnover, I would expect to get the IB high sooner. But the way they pulled back, I said, I think it's going to be very difficult to get the IB high or low. ES didn't get it till F, and Q didn't get it till L. Read a market. I did nothing then till F period. I took a long thinking we would get the IB high, and I lost 20 points on it because I didn't get it. I did have some decent longs in G, H, and I. In G, when it pulled back against the 144 and then against, I'm thinking it was going to be an afternoon pullback. Now, it wasn't, but H was, and I got that. And then in I period, I took the long to stop the one-time framing down. So that was good. And then I did catch the IB high in L. So I got all three of my staple plays. The overnight high, the one-time framing in B, and the IB high. And that was it. So again, I wouldn't take too much. We talk about this a lot. The bulls are going to say, well, the bears couldn't do anything after yesterday. And that's true. Right? We couldn't even take out yesterday's low and get going. And the bears are going to say, well, the bulls stayed in the lower distribution all day in ES. And even in NQ, just basically most of the time below half back from yesterday and got nothing going. They're both right. What does it mean for tomorrow? Nothing. I don't know if we're going to gap lower. I don't know if we're going to gap higher. Maybe we'll open up inside of yesterday's range. Please keep in mind, there's very little out tomorrow, and it's the day before a 3-day weekend. A lot of people take that off. So I hope I'm wrong, but your action might happen in the first hour or two before people start leaving, say, for a 4-day weekend. So keep that in mind. And then, chart-wise, so here's the daily. We barely took out yesterday's low in ES. It's down, though, because I was calling it down. We do have 68 million on the tape, so we hit average already. Yesterday we did 95 million, just missed the top 10. NQ did 52 million. They averaged 44, so they're already above average pretty good, right? By 20%. So the volume hasn't been bad. I mean, NQ's range was, the entire thing was the IB until that late day push in L. So the daily is down in ES, and no, that's United Healthcare. And in NQ, it's still balanced with an inside day. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.